how good are the Brooklyn Nets post-trade deadline? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Emmanuel Camia. On here, I make videos pertaining to the NBA. I give my thoughts, opinions, and break things down analytically. So if you're into that kind of stuff, make sure to hit the subscribe button below, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and make sure to leave a like. And aside from that, let's jump into this video. So the trade deadline has come and gone, which means the rosters that we have right now are the permanent rosters, and they are locked in until the offseason starts. And the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers are obviously the most interesting rosters at post-trade deadline because of obvious reasons. As of right now, the Brooklyn Nets big three consists of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and Blake Griffin. I'm just kidding. No, obviously Ben Simmons is the replacement for James Harden. So with new faces comes new challenges, new talent, and new seeding potential, which means this current team is definitely different from the previous one that had James Harden on it. So with that being said, that also means that this team has a different ceiling. So I wanted to make this video today to ask, how good are the Brooklyn Nets right now post the trade deadline? Did the team get better? Do they get worse? And if so, how, where, and why? Today, I'm here to answer that question and give you guys my thoughts on that. So in my opinion, the Nets can be better than what they were when James Harden was still on the team, and that rests and predicates on how they utilize Ben Simmons. In order for them to be better than the Brooklyn Nets of the old, they have to utilize Ben Simmons different from what the 76ers utilize them. And also, I think the Nets are going to be better just because that James Harden, at first when he was in Brooklyn, he was great for them. He was great for them until he quit. He quit recently, and that reflects in the team's record. They are at the bottom of the Eastern Conference right now. For a team that special and for a team that talented, they are not supposed to be at 8th seed in the Eastern Conference, right? So if they can utilize Ben Simmons, and if players can actually not quit on that team, they're going to do better, and they're going to be better than the team that held James Harden on it. Now, guys like Seth Curry and Andre Drummond are great acquisitions for the team. I'm glad they were able to squeeze in Seth Curry for that trade. That was an incredible trade. I like that. And if I'm Seth Curry, right, I am going to try and learn to play with Kevin Durant in the sense that I'm going to watch what Steph did. I'm going to watch what my brother did, because Steph Curry left a blueprint on how to play with Kevin Durant. Not every player can follow it, right? James Harden can follow it, right? It's reported that James Harden had an issue with Kevin Durant being the front runner of the team, the lead man, right? Steph Curry didn't do that. Steph understood that in order for the team to be successful, Kevin Durant has to be successful. I'm going to try and model what Steph did, right? If I'm Seth, I'm watching film on how they play together, because Seth Curry's game is similar to Steph Curry's game, and you're gonna be on a floor with him a lot. I'm watching game. What is Steph doing? I'm even sometimes calling up my brother and to ask him for pointers. That's what I'm doing if I'm Seth Curry. I try to get other guards on the team, like Kyrie Irving, right? Like, I know Kyrie Irving's stubborn, but I'm trying to get Kyrie Irving to see it that way, to be like, hey, listen, my brother played with KD, and you and I play the same position, point guard. KD and Stephen Curry did very well. They succeeded very well together. Why don't we try and replicate what they did in order to replicate that same success here? So that's what I'm doing if I'm Steph Curry, and I'm glad that the Brooklyn Nets went out and they got Steph Curry for that. But yes, there's major upside for the Brooklyn Nets if they play their cards right, and this is how they do it. Ben Simmons obviously is not a good player when it comes to a half-court offense. He's best when he's in close proximity to the basket, or when it is a transitional offense, full-court offense, right? So what I do there, what the Brooklyn Nets can do there to utilize him and use him to the best of his potential, is put him where he's closest to the basket. Put him at center. He is 6'10", and I know that used to give him an advantage when he played point guard, but you have two stellar point guards in Seth and Kyrie Irving. It just happens to be that Ben Simmons is 6'10". He can play center. And the reason he wasn't able to play center in Philadelphia, the reason they couldn't utilize him in this way was because, well, Joel Embiid was there. You can't have both guys out there, right? But this is not the same, right? You can have him play center so that he's in close proximity to the basket and he's not so far out at the arch, at the top of the arc where he is very limited, right? Because he's a very limited player, because as a defender, you know what Ben Simmons is going to do because of his shooting track record. He's not a very good shooter, so you know at the very least he's not going to shoot. So that makes it easier for you to defend him. That limits him. You don't get the same thing with him if he's in close proximity to the basket. Easy dunks, easy layups. And then also, where the Brooklyn Nets get better in terms of having Ben Simmons, where they weren't so much so when they had James Harden, is defensively. What James Harden lacked defensively, Ben Simmons excels at. So defensive prowess, right? When you pair Ben Simmons and Kevin Durant up close to the basket, it gives a defensive rim protection presence down in the paint, right? And I know Kevin Durant can be a great rim protector because I've seen him do it in Golden State. He was one of the best rim protectors when he was in Golden State. When you pair him up with another long, tall guy like Ben Simmons, who's nimble, who's athletic, it opens a door for you to do things that you couldn't do before when you had James Harden. For instance, you can now play small ball easier. You can have both Seth Curry and Kyrie Irving on the floor, two small guys, but two really superb shooters. That is something you weren't able to do in the past when you had James Harden. So Ben Simmons opens up doors for the Brooklyn Nets to do things they couldn't do before. How good are the Nets in relation to other teams in the Eastern Conference, right? Obviously, the man to beat in the East are the Milwaukee Bucks. They are still super good. They have not missed a beat at all, right? On top of that, they have experience of actually winning a championship now. They know what it takes, so they're even more lethal. And on top of that, the Eastern Conference has gotten extremely good. I don't remember in my lifetime the Eastern Conference being this good. For the majority of my lifetime, the West has always been dominant. The West has always been the dominant conference, the one with the best players, the one that's the hardest to get through. And compared to the West, the East always looked like a walk in the park, a nice stroll to the finals. And that's partly why people used to say LeBron had an easy path to the finals. But this is not the case this year. I haven't seen the East be this good. Right? We have so many newcomers in a fold now. For instance, Miami is back in a fold after regressing last year, right? And we've seen them go to the finals. Nobody can say that they can't make it to the finals. They have just as much of a chance to make it to the finals. And obviously, newcomers this year, like Cleveland. Cleveland is really good this year. They may not be able to make it to the finals, but you better bet your ass that they're going to give somebody a run for their money, right? And obviously, the Chicago Bulls will have something to say this year, right? And Boston's starting to heat up. They're starting to get better. They're starting to get really good. They're just coming off of a 7-game win streak. And don't even get me started on the 76ers. If everything goes right in terms of injury with the 76ers, they could well be the best in the East. So the Brooklyn Nets have some work cut out for them. It is a dogfight out here. It is not easy anymore, right? Luckily for them, they still have Kevin Durant, but I don't see them being as good or going the distance because they still have Kyrie Irving on the team. And Kyrie Irving has the problem of he can't play home games. And that's going to be very crucial in the playoffs if they even make the playoffs. Because remember, they are 8th seed right now in a tough conference, in a tough Eastern Conference. They got some work cut out for them, right? But if KD can return back healthy, I can see them going up to maybe 5th in the East, 4th, but not further than that in terms of standing because, again, Kyrie's going to miss a big majority of those games, right? And when it comes to the playoffs, I can see them going, the farthest I can see them going is the second round. And that's partially due to the fact that availability matters. And if Kyrie's not there, I don't see them going the distance, right? That, and also the fact that the East is good this year. The East is really good. It is not a walk in the park anymore. It's not that same Eastern Conference that, had the Toronto Raptors being the #1 seed and getting swept, had LeBron going to the finals 8 years in a row. That's not the same conference anymore. It is tough out here. right? So that is where I see the Brooklyn Nets currently. That is where I think they are. Those are my thoughts on them. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to leave a like for the algorithm. Make sure to beat up that like button like it owes you money, and make sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I want to know what you guys think about the Brooklyn Nets and where they stand in relation to other teams in the East. But aside from that, thank you for watching, and until next time, kids.